everybody, I'm Hildy McQueen, USA Today bestselling author of Western and Highlander historical romance, and I also write contemporaries. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to talk about our frenemy, a writer's frenemy, best friend and enemy, social media, and how you can use it to your advantage depending on the time of the season that you are in and what you are trying to accomplish. Okay, first I'm going to start with the new writer, the writer that is just trying to establish and get their brand going. First of all, take a long, hard look at where you're planning to go and how you plan to set yourself up. Do you plan to go spicy or sweet, inspirational, erotic? Do you want to write more geared to young people, older people, men, women? What kind of romance are you writing? I am mostly talking to romance writers, but it applies to every genre too. What are you writing, and what is the feeling behind what you write? Is it going to be happy, exciting, funny, comical, angsty, dark? Is it going to be an epic saga? Decide what you want that feeling to be, and from there, set your brand. It is very important to get your brand started from the very beginning. Now, in my case, I will tell you, I started with paranormal romance, and so where I started to where I am now with mostly Western historicals is a totally different feel, a totally different vibe. But my personality is what I went with, and I like to be funny and easygoing, and I like funny, happy things, and my personality is more of a laugh jokesy. So I didn't quite go with the dark reds and purples and those black and all those mixtures of midnight blues that most paranormal authors went with. I went with more of a pink, happy type logo. I should have had one prepared, but here, this is kind of give you an idea. There we go. So this is kind of what I went with from the very beginning, and it worked fine for me because then I can pretty much write any genre with this logo. Unfortunately, if you look at it closely, what kind of writer would you say this is? It doesn't really tell you what kind of writer I am. It shows a person kind of happy with a lot of books, and people can say, oh yeah, that's totally you. You're funny, you're quick, you love dogs, you blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't really talk about my brand. I tried to change my brand over the years, but I could never quite find one that worked for me because my two series or two genres that I write are quite different. You know, Highlanders on one side and Cowboys on the other. I will insert a graphic here to show you one of my logos that I kind of thought I was going to go with, but I wasn't quite sure. So I've tried different ones over the years. I had like a rustic heart. I had a very erotic looking couple kissing. But you know, it just came down to the fact that I found my brand to be me. I'm not going to say don't do that, but in a way it works for you and against you because people might know who I am, but they might not be too sure about what I write until they get to know me and hear me and start my books, that kind of thing. So if you're going to write, let me say, contemporary romance with kind of an edgy, like let's say all your heroes and heroines are edgy people who like the rock scene or the club scene and stuff like that. So you might want to say romance that rocks, for instance, would be your tagline, and you might have your logo be like a edgy girl, you know, or an edgy silhouette, or maybe a really fancy, not fancy like curly heart, but maybe like a sharp heart with, you know, romance, you know. Let's say your last name, your pen name is Jones. No, your name's not John. Jones Smith. Jones Smith, writes romance that rocks, and that would be on that edgy, maybe blue heart or something. And that would get people kind of like, especially if the words were a little bit spiky, something like that. And then people will start, wow, that's obvious what you write. You write romance that's kind of edgy and It has that rock and roll feel. Feel free to use that. I just came up with that at the top of my head and it sounds pretty cool. So just to give you an idea, the first thing that I think is very important with social media is coming up with the brand and starting and exploiting the crap out of it. So how do you do that? Once you come up with your brand, come up with an idea of how you want to represent your writing. Remember, you don't want to represent you. You want to represent your writing. My brand and logo right now is Writing by Moonlight because I used to write very late at night. Now I don't have a tagline, so I am working on one with a couple of friends. So once I get it, it'll be probably the same image, sort of along the same lines, but I want to have something a little bit that portrays my writing. So let's say now you have your brand, and let's say we're going to keep going with the edgy contemporary romance. When you start your author page, and I do sincerely recommend 2 pages, a personal author page and a like one of those author pages that everybody likes, and then one that is where everybody can one like you're a real person. Those 2 pages. There's 2 different ones. There's one that people can only like, and there's one where they can friend you. So I recommend one of each. And then set up a posting schedule. Now, for one thing, if let's say you're going to do the Romance That Rocks, and most of your books have to do around the club scene, then start following DJs. Start following different clubs in your area, or maybe in the area where your books are going to take place. Start getting to know maybe people that are very well known in the club scene, and then follow them on Instagram and on Facebook, and then start posting about those people. Start posting things like the DJ's rocking here, and this is the scene for my book, Sally Rocks or whatever. I keep using rock, and I know it's not the right, I'm dating myself. I don't know what it's called now, clubbing or, romance at clubs. Okay, let's go back. So you're going to start following DJs, you're going to start following people that are in the scene. If you write firefighters, you're going to, hot romance, but hot being the flames and the firemen, you guys get it. So start, do interviews with firemen. Find those firemen calendar guys. It's not that hard. I've been to fire stations a lot. I've stopped at a couple fire stations once in Savannah. It was fun. Anyway, those guys are friendly, and most of the time they're bored. So just say, hey, I'm a romance writer, and I'm writing about firemen. Can I ask you a couple questions? And then maybe they ask them, can I take a selfie with you? Or say, do you mind if I do a quick video? Or, anything like that. Most of them are okay with it. Everybody is super nice as you come in there with the right attitude. Especially, and if you're shy, that's even better, because then that kind of brings them out of their shell when they're trying to reassure you, make you not be so shy. So let's say you're writing firemen mostly. Well, start posting pictures of hot firemen, or pictures of firemen heroes, or go to and do research on maybe the area where you're writing and any fires that took place. Start doing that kind of stuff. Maybe even do a special novella where the proceeds go to, some kind of fire fund or something like that. So start getting people to say, oh, that's the author who is always, talking about firemen and has firemen friends that she asks for research questions to, and they often come on there, and she does interviews with them. She asks them specific questions, and then post the dialogue between you and the fireman on your Facebook page or Instagram page or Twitter, whatever it is that you use the most. So that gets people kind of getting to know what you write. Number 1, because of your brand. Number 2, because of Number 1, because of your brand, and number 2, because of your posting and what you post and how you post, and people are like, oh, definitely, that kind of thing. Some genres is easier than others. If you write cowboys, it's pretty easy. Rodeo stars, if you do the rodeo romance, just brainstorm around that. Just sit down with a journal and start writing down ideas. What it is about your genre that you can do research on. Historical ones are easy because you can go to historical places, take trips, and write them off. Yeah. Okay. So once you start setting yourself up to what kind of posts you're doing, then set up a schedule so that your readers know that every Tuesday they can come on there and get a teaser of a scene, and then maybe a Muse Fireman for that scene. Maybe it'll be Teaser Tuesday, that's just an easy no-brainer. Manly Monday, Fireman Friday, Wicked Wednesdays, or I do Hunk Day, which is play on Hunk Day on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, I write Motivational Monday. Usually Monday's my motivation unless I have a release, and that week is mostly promo on my release, so that week is totally different. But usually if you have a set schedule, let's say, it doesn't mean that every day you have something like, oh my god, Monday is this, Tuesdays. I'm saying pick 2 or 3 days out of the week that will have the repeating things. So it makes it it makes it a little bit easier for you. Believe me, it will be easier, because you know that on Mondays you're going to be doing Manly Monday. You know that on Wednesdays you will be Tuesdays you'll be doing Teaser Tuesday, and then maybe Fireman Friday, or if you write like the rock that I was saying, then you can do Rockstar Thursday, or if you're doing the club scene kind of thing, then Dance Day, where you can post videos of people doing the latest dances, things like that, or a club scene Friday or whatever. You get the gist. So I would do it at least 2 or 3 days a week. And then on the other 2 days, because we do have to promote our books, that's the day we promote our books. 80-20 rule follows for every single day. Readers are forgiving in the fact that they know that you are a writer and you have to promote your books. But that's not all they want to see. So on your profile page, the one where you add friends, that's where I would put all these interviews and stuff like that, and post the weekly things. I usually do that, and then on my page, my other page, my author page, where people just like, on that one I usually do a little bit more promotion, because that's what that page is about. And then but on the days that I do my niche, like Manly Monday or Hunk Day, or Teaser Tuesday, or that kind of stuff, Motivational Monday, whatever I do, I put those over there too. And I do a different picture, not the same exact picture. So that is one way to use your social media. Now there are programs, because I know that social media is one of those things that people are like, well, you're not in control of who sees this, you're not in control of yes, I know, we're not in control of a lot of things. But what we are in control of, let's exploit it and use it to our benefit. One of the things that, that lately on Facebook, and I think Instagram's the same way. I keep seeing the same people and not everybody else. And one of the reasons is because of who engages with each other is who you see. If you go to a bunch of people and you like their things, and you, sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just open up Facebook and like, and go through things and like as many people as I can, because I know that is going to be people that get to see me and I get to see their feeds. But another way is to have a very interactive post. Now, I just did one that you can go check out in my page, and I asked people what was their preference for which romance genre they like to read. Now, a lot of times for this, in most cases, I want to know. I want to know what they like to read, because people change over time. It seems like there's like ebbs and flows, and sometimes this one genre is really hot, and then it kind of nobody talks about it, that kind of thing. So I did want to know. But when you do something that's that, sorry, my hair is a mess. When you do something that's interactive like that, and the more people that like and comment, then the more people that will see it. I always do that usually right before a release. Not the day before, but like maybe 2 days before. Because as people start interacting, more and more people see it. And lots of times it'll be things like put a GIF here, like .gif, of what your weekend was like. And people will start posting, all these GIFs. And the more the people that post and are interactive, the more people that see it. Now, I don't suggest you do this every single week, because people will get sick of you. I see some people that do it almost every other day. I'm like, okay, that's a little too much. I would say maybe once every couple of weeks, and especially right before you have a new release coming up or a new pre-order coming up, that kind of stuff. Do it right before then, 2 or 3 days before, so that there's more people seeing your feed. Another thing you can do is Oh, as far as interactive, let me give you some examples. I had a really cute picture of a bunch of different multicolored sheep, and I asked people what their least favorite color was. Not what their favorite color is, but the least favorite color, and that was interesting to me. I usually ask questions that I really want to know the answer to. What is, their, if they could live anywhere, or a gift of where they want to live, mountains, beach, or I think I asked mountains, beach, small town, big city, that kind of stuff. And people put up pictures. I asked questions like three people. I put three people up, maybe three men or three women. Asked which one of these would you say is the villain in my next story. Pictures like things like that make people. It's fun, and they want to come back and answer. I wanted to ask something one that I had like 300 responses of was tell me something. How was it? It was they had to tell me something about them that they found attractive in themselves. I had so many replies about it, and I really like doing that. I want to do it again. So yeah, things like that, and you do it like I do it maybe on a Saturday, and then I know that on Tuesday I have a big release coming up because I think more people then will be looking at my pages, and I do this on my friend page. And when I've done it on my profile page, my other page, my people like page, I do get interaction, but it doesn't seem to be as much. I'm going to do a test on it, and I will definitely get back to you guys on how that goes. Okay, so we have talked about setting yourself up so people know what you write. We have talked about the type of posts that you will do, and we have talked about a scheduled time that you will do. One other thing that I think is good to do with our frenemy, social media, is to interrelate. Yeah, you can do all this stuff, but if you're not answering back or you're not talking to your readers, then you might as well be a robot. So what I did is I found, for my historical westerns, I found 3 groups. One I found it with other friends. We are about 500 and some strong now. There's another group I'm in that's like 10,000 or more strong. And then there's another Western one that I'm a part of that's contemporary Western. And then there's 2 other Western ones. So I found groups that are Western readers heavy. And I go in there and I do the same kind of thing. I ask questions. One of the books that I'm going to write is with the prostitute. So I wanted to know, how do you guys feel about a prostitute as a heroine? And I asked this in my historical Westerns because they are a little bit more conservative there. So then I put a picture of an old-timey saloon girl. And so that's the kind of thing that so then all the people are giving me their replies. And as they're giving me their replies, I'm responding to their replies. Excuse me. So what I do is if people say, well, I never had a problem, I don't have a problem with it as long as she's redeemable. And I said, yeah, that's a good point. I'll say things like that. And yes, it takes a little bit more time, but as you're starting to develop relationships, and I know that on most of the groups now, they'll say there's only, promotion is only allowed like on your day of release or once on Saturday or something. And don't just come on there on the promotion day and put up your books and then never come back. No, it's, people see right through that. It's like, no, I know we don't have that much time, but, I will talk about, I talked about schedules, but I will talk further in depth on that day and how to handle your schedule. So schedule the time. Give yourself an hour for social media in the evening and just make a list of your groups and go to each one of your groups and interact. If you don't have a post to put up or you're tired and don't feel it, then just get on there and tell them how your day is going. Tell them something funny your kids said or something your dog did, or just interact and go in there and add, whatever other writers or readers have put up, talk in there. Another thing that you can do is, once you join the groups, is make sure you get in there and interact so that when you do put up a book that you're releasing or something like that, then people will be excited to see what you wrote. So be interactive, join some groups, start a group. If you're in a niche style of romance that you write that not very many people are, but you do know two or three writers that write that genre, then get with them and start a group. I started like the Western Sizzle. I started that with 5 friends, and like I said, we're 500 strong now, so we have 500 readers that are looking to see what we have to say, and we have a theme for every day of the week, and we don't get on there every day. Like, I might get on there on Wednesdays and Fridays, and the other ladies go on whenever. We have, and we've also had other authors join in, so it's a lot of fun. So I think there are other ways to link through. I mean, Instagram is another one that's a lot of fun. I love Instagram, and I usually I have my one page set up so that automatically whatever I boost goes to Instagram. Whatever I post on my author page also goes directly to Twitter. I am not much on Twitter, but I do get on there every once in a while and just put up, nonsense, because it's so fast that you kind of have to catch people's attention like that, and then you're gone. And as far as Instagram goes, it's not as interactive as Facebook, but it can be. If you ask provocative questions on there, you will also get replies as well. And then you also have to respond to their responses and kind of gets a little bit of traction going on there. So mainly those are the points that I wanted to make. I think that I know that right now things are changing constantly with Facebook and the things they allow and don't allow. Facebook ads, and that is an entire different talk, which I'm not going to go into because I'm still trying to learn Facebook ads. I do boost a lot of my posts that I post on my author page, and some of them do well, some don't. I am not that great at advertising, so I don't foresee myself doing a talk on that. So, but I do know how to interact and have a great time on Facebook. I give myself an hour in the morning, and I tell you what, I have so much fun, and then in the evening I'll get on there as well. So if you have any questions, please post them down below. I will do my best to reply to them, and thank you so much for tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me over on Facebook. Okay, you guys, happy writing. Bye!